Hi everyone,
This is Beck, and I'm Jade, and this
it's Mean Tweets.
these are some tweets that are mean. Hi.
This is in response to our Uber video.
Uber video, okay. It's doing well, you should check it out.
Elliot says, why is Uber the official transport service of TYT anyway? Too cheap to support real cabs?
I'm glad you didn't watch the video.
I don't know where this woman, why does she think, did you say anywhere in the video that you use? I don't remember you saying it.
I think sometimes people see the thumbnail and think, I know what that video is about, and I'm going to leave a mean tweet.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
I know that's what a lot of people do.
I hope you watch the video like 500,000 other people have done.
Okay, so 95 Sports says, great job inciting the entire driver community instead of realizing the real problem is Uber's rates.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, why did you criticize Uber? I'm not criticizing Uber. I think Uber are wonderful, and I use Lyft.
Criticize them. I think we kind of criticize them.
Fair call.
I mean, you didn't tie them to the post or anything. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
What I was saying is Uber lies when they say that Uber drivers make more money than any other driver. Now, I'm glad that Uber exists, and I have used them in the past. I'm glad that we have a better alternative than taxis, because I think taxis have a lot of flaws and could learn a lot from Uber. But you don't lie. If you didn't, I wouldn't care as long as Uber don't lie about it. If they were really open about hey, the average driver makes just less than $3 an hour. Want to drive for Uber? That's fine. But at least you'd be honest about it. And for some people, that $3 an hour is actually worth it because they're not making any money at all.
If you don't like working for the man, and
yeah, for a lot of people out there, you don't have a job, $3 an hour is $3 more than you would have.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Better than a kick up the ass. He says, there's a good way to do math. This is not it.
I don't understand. They use the numbers, and all of the data was supported. We source, generally speaking, we try and source all of our data from the most reliable sources that are available, and I believe that data came from Uber itself and from the IRS.
So Uber gave you their data?
Well, Uber pays their LA drivers 90 cents, which is what we said in the video. And we looked at the LA tax department to get the sales tax. And then we looked at the IRS data on depreciation. So if you've got a better way of doing it.
This next one is from Aliens Anonymous, and she says, did I miss it or did Miss... No, it's a man. Did I miss it or did Miss Smarty Panties go over the tax deductions you can take for car appreciation, fuel repairs, etc.?
We didn't.
Because I sure as hell ain't going to watch again unless she gets naked.
It's very charming
that you think
that I would get naked. But I can tell you if I do get naked, you're probably not going to want to watch it.
I'm sure they probably would.
Traumatized for life.
Anyway, to address the tax
we could get naked. I wonder if that would get many views. What do you think?
It would probably get more views than what we
Let us know in
now.
the comments below if you would like to see me or Beck naked. And whoever gets the most votes will get naked.
I don't know if I can vouch for the accuracy of that.
Anyway.
You're trying to dodge the tax deductions
So what they're
question.
saying is, what about tax deductions? That's a great question. We didn't even bother including income tax in the video. So if you add the amount that you lose in income tax, then we can talk about tax deductions. But we didn't even bother putting in income tax. So you can't deduct it if you didn't include tax in the first place. So don't worry about it.
Sedna FTW, what does that mean, FTW? For the win? Says, this video is such fucking bullshit. Keep your car running good and don't go drop 20k on a new car, and it makes everything this stupid fucking blonde bimbo reading a script said irrelevant.
Well, first of all, I wrote the script.
I think
I'm reading someone else's script.
That's true, but I think he's still...
And second of all, keep your car running good. You can't keep your car running good if you're driving 225,000 miles on it. You'd have to repair that shit all the time. So yes, again, you might be able to drive a car beyond 225,000 miles, But remember, you have to clean that shit out all the time when people throw up. You have to repair all the like cars that hit you, and you have to like refresh the engine and the tires, and all that shit is expensive. Is it as expensive as a new car? Who knows?
Okay. Evan Wright says, buy a car every 2 or 3 years. Are you fucking retarded?
Possibly. But let me do the math on that one. Thank
So
you
we
for
should
the question,
explain.
Evan.
We should explain the context of that.
So the context is that in the Uber video I said if you're a full-time driver as your job, you have to buy a car like every 3 years, and that costs a lot of money. And people don't realize that. They're like, I'm going to drive for Uber, and then they depreciate the value of their car by putting a lot of miles on the car, and then they're like, oh, now my car's broken down, and I haven't put aside any money to pay for the repairs or to buy a new one. But if you think about it, like, just say if you're an Uber driver, we said in the video that you get paid for 30 miles, you drive for 30 miles an hour. So you get paid for 30 miles every hour. But you're probably driving more than that because it's not all trips that you're being paid for. You have to go and drive to the person to get picked up. But just for sake of math, you drive 30 miles per hour and you drive for 10 hours a day. So like maybe just over an 8-hour day, plus you've got to drive there and you've got to drive home, whatever. So you know a lot of taxi drivers do a lot longer than 10-hour days, but we'll just say 10 hours. So 30 miles per hour times 10 hours, it's 300 miles every day. Times 5 days a week, that's 1,500 miles you're driving in a week. Now times that by, say you do 50 weeks per year, 50 out of 52, you've got to take some holidays. That's what's 50 times, that's 75,000 miles every year. Now after 3 years, you're up to 225,000 miles. Now, yes, it might be possible to drive a car with 225,000 miles on it, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are doing just that, but you then, at that point, you're gonna have to replace like so much of the engine that would have broken down by that point. And that's expensive because you have to replace the fan belts and like the starter motor and all that shit breaks down. Plus, you're not just driving yourself, you're driving in stop-start traffic, or you're driving like large stretches on highways and you get even higher miles. Sorry.
Maybe the guy who was saying this was thinking that an Uber driver wasn't like driving full time.
No, but this is like to try. The point of the video is to show that full-time drivers, people that are driving for their primary income, aren't really they're not making minimum wage. And like if you're just driving an hour or two on the weekends, then the money that you make isn't going to be that important to you. But for a lot of people that are believing Uber and thinking that they can drive full time, it's just not happening for you. Now, whilst you probably could drive a car with 225,000 miles on it, think about the people that you would have picked up. They'll be puking in the back seat of your car, and they're like, all sorts of shit's going to happen at that point. I saw a taxi hit another car just yesterday.
Okay, your mean tweet time is up for this tweet.
But basically, after 225,000 miles of full-time driving, your car is going to be a piece of shit.
Hi everyone, I'm Jayde Lovell, resident science nerd on the Young Turks network. You're watching ScIQ and we know you don't want to miss an episode, so please click the subscribe button down below.